Your eyes sparkle, your eyes that shine. We were on shrooms, couldn't help but smile. It's really crazy. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
Real Talk with Star Scorpio. I'm very happy to have my guest today, Wavvyspice01, a singer, songwriter who expresses her lyrics in the genre of R&B, soul, hip hop, and spoken word. In her latest EP, Ying and Yang, it's very fitting. It brings the forces of dark and light, male and female, all in one. And I got to tell you, the beats are dope. All the tracks are fire. And I don't know if it was intentional, but you put me in the moment when I listened to the tracks. So we're going to get into it. But there's a magazine back in the day called The Source. And all I got to say to anyone listening that knows, 5 mics. Wavvyspice01, welcome to Real Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for coming out. You know, on my podcast, I like to build a timeline first, right? So let's start from the beginning, man. Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in West Virginia, Beckley, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And how was it growing up there? You know, I'm from Toronto, Canada. Let me know how it was growing up there.
It's just really country, and there's not a whole lot of opportunities, so I kind of had to move to have more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And what I like to do too is build a timeline in respect to schooling too. So especially for when I interview comedians or singers, artists, because I want to understand what they liked in school or they excelled in school. And I want to see if there's any correlation between what they liked in school and what they're doing now. And most importantly, the classes you liked, and were you in classes where you got to express your creativity? So what did you excel in and what did you do?
For sure. So I definitely excelled in English because I've always been a writer. Like I've been writing it started as poetry. So I started writing poetry and spoken word when I was about 10 or 11. So I've
Mhm.
always excelled at English. Um and I always excelled in music class.
Yeah. Did you play instruments?
I played guitar. I played guitar around the time I was just first a teenager. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guitar was my first instrument.
Yeah. Were you self-taught or you took lessons?
I really was mostly self-taught, but I had a lot of people who played music just teach me things along the way.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I taught myself. Yeah.
Nice. That's what I hear from a lot of like artists. They're self-taught and things. My brother was actually in the guitar and I was playing drums, but it was too hard for me, man. So I I gave it up. But it takes a lot of patience to learn instruments.
It does, but you have to have that like passion for it because if you have that deep passion for it and that's like really your calling, then you're never gonna get tired of trying.
Yes,
No
that's so
matter
true.
how many times, like it's just what I love to do. It's what
Yeah.
I'm meant to do.
Yeah, because you work through the pain and the frustrations. That's so
Yeah,
important. That's important. So
for sure.
now when did you find your voice? Because I can tell in your tracks, we're gonna get into your EP later on. But when did you find your voice? Because I like to know that about my guests. And I can tell you have that poetry background because I had it too. Because your words they're deep.
So I think I've always had that poetic part of my voice. I've
Mhm.
always had that. And I've always sang since I was like as young as I could like speak.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I truly found my voice until about close to a few years ago, really. I think that it was when I started playing piano. When I started playing piano,
Mhm.
I feel like it brought out the depth and the soul in my voice. And then I kind of stopped trying to sound like other people and really just started stepping into what I truly sound like.
Yeah. I love your voice. Do people say you sound like other artists? Because when
I
my
think
wife
I
heard the track, the track. I played it for her this morning, and she's like, and my daughter too. She sounds like somebody, and I'm like, she's unique, but I can tell what they're talking about.
I do get people saying I sound like people. I think it's more or less that you can hear when I sing. If I tell you who I was influenced by, you can feel that and hear it. I
Hmm.
would say probably some of my largest influences would probably be like the Fugees, Lauryn Hill, Erica Badu, Common, um, probably like Sublime, Amy
Hmm.
Winehouse, just a lot of different stuff. Like I even grew up on classic rock, like Led Zeppelin and
Yeah,
just different stuff. You could just tell that I definitely listen to more than one type of music.
yeah.
I even listen to classical music.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the late 90s, early 2000s R&B, hip hop and neo soul,
Hmm.
all of that really influenced me in a huge way.
Yeah. What era did you grow up in? I don't like to age people. Like some people, I say, hey, you
I'm
want to say,
34, so I was
oh,
born
okay.
in 88, right in that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up on a lot of Missy Elliott, Aaliyah, TLC,
Mm.
tons of stuff. Like the first two people that really inspired the first two like musics that really inspired me to sit down and actually start writing like rap music
Yeah.
was definitely Bone Thugs and Foxy Brown. Those were two of my hugest, like biggest influences
Mm.
for.
Okay. So, okay, what about your parents? Did you get the music influence from your parents? Because it's funny that you say this. I'm 49, right? So I grew up on my parents'
Mhm.
music. Then, of course, the reggae, the dancehall, calypso, all that. But then, in the 80s,
For
when I was
sure.
in junior high, we got introduced to hip hop, West, East Coast, all of that. And
Yeah.
then R&B, of course. But again, I didn't get it from my parents. It's what we listened to, all my friends. So what about you and your parents and
I'm
all
gonna
that?
be honest with you. A lot of like the rock music, like I listen to harder rock music. I even listen to metal,
Yeah.
and just like the reggae and the dance hall, just like you're talking about.
Hmm.
All of that I just mentioned, that was things that I discovered on my own, and a
Yeah.
lot of the rock music influence came from my brother because he played guitar and he listened to metal and stuff.
Okay.
But stuff like the type of stuff that I got from my parents was stuff like Fleetwood Mac,
Hmm.
um, Missy Elliott, Whitney Houston,
Oh,
Celine
yeah.
Dion, Cher. It was like all of those like powerful women
Yeah.
people, like even like stuff like, because I didn't really get a lot of my influence from the melanated side of my family. I kind of grew up in the white side of my family, so I
Hmm.
got a lot of stuff like Cheryl Crow, Dixie Chicks, like, and I grew up in the country, so like we
Yeah.
listened to a lot of like bluegrass and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And like the country music in the 90s, I mean everything in the 90s was great. Alternative,
Yeah.
rap. Like I listened to a lot of alternative too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like so it's really just a huge, huge mix.
Yeah.
Really.
And you're right. I love rock music. Um, and remember when Run DMC when they
Yeah.
collaborated Aerosmith? Like that was my first like, whoa, this is wicked how
Love
they
Aerosmith.
yeah,
I even got a wide range of vinyl collection.
yeah,
But yeah, I really loved Rough Riders. Rough Riders was a huge like movement in my rap inspiration.
hmm,
Like I just remember seeing all of them, like Eve and Swizz Beats
yeah,
and even DMX, RIP. But like I
yeah,
grew up on all of that. Like
yeah,
so yeah, hip
yeah,
hop is a huge movement. Like hip hop and the whole R&B and neo soul, like that is just an entirely different energy,
yeah,
and we really have the power to influence people in positive ways. So I want to that's where I'm at in my music.
yeah. Yo, I love I love everything you say. And when I found you on IG, I saw that in your bio it says music has the power to heal people. Once I
Yeah.
saw that, and then I heard the track. You know my track. You know my favorite track, right? Uh,
Yeah, is it
you
all in
know,
your energy?
all in
All
your
in your
energy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your favorite.
Oh
Yeah, a lot
man.
of people love that. So I've been looking at my stats, and the three top songs right now is All in Your Energy. It's Varying Conditions is actually number one on Apple. It's
Mhm.
Varying Conditions Part Two, and then it's All in Your Energy and Fear of Abandonment. Actually,
So
I think Fear of Abandonment might be number one now.
yo, because the message in that though. So I'm glad you slid into this now. There's a lot of things I want to ask, but Ying and the Yang, beautiful. There's 6 tracks on it, right? Including the intro. So we have Is the Feeling Mutual, Effing With, My Mind, Relaxation, All in Your Energy, which is my banger. I feel like buying that track. Like I want to, if I had money, I'd be paying you for that to have that as my intro because I love that. And then we have Fear of Abandonment. And then what I want to know is Varying Conditions Part Two. So I don't know the history of your music. So was there a part one sometime?
There is a part one, and it's out on all the platforms as well.
Okay.
So what Varying Conditions Part One and Part Two is about is pretty much digging deep into um understanding why we do certain things we do. And a lot of it has to do with our upbringing.
Yeah.
So, if you lived a life where you were going through neglect and abuse, you tend to like adapt to those type of relationships when you are an adult. And until you start changing your behaviors and the people you choose around you, it's
Mhm.
like the universe will continue to keep sending you the same energetic level of people until you quit those certain behaviors.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying in Varying Conditions too is varying conditions. This is what I'm living if I don't quit it. So I
Yeah.
started realizing that I have these certain behaviors that keep me in this negative cycle. And it's because I stay in this place of comfort. It's like those toxic relationships bring me a sort of comfort that I had when I was a child. And you
Mhm.
start having to become more self-aware so you can make these changes.
Wavy, thanks for being so open. Wow. That was poetic. That was eloquent. Thanks for explaining that. Um, since we're touching on this, then let me know fear and abandonment. I want people to listen to this. You have a great following. Like after I posted that teaser view, like 6 of your followers immediately followed me. And I'm like, and they're so positive. I'm like, wow. But
Yeah, I'm getting chills right now because like I'm building. I have a vision, and
mhm,
I know that I'm gonna be able to execute it. And I know that not everybody's going to receive it, but not everybody is meant to receive it. What it is for is
mhm,
there's a huge shift happening.
mhm,
There's a lot of people waking up spiritually.
yeah,
And that is what I'm here for, is to help people with that, because a lot of people are going through a lot of the same things that
yeah,
I'm going through. And what fear of abandonment is touching on is really touching on childhood trauma. And there's not that many people that are comfortable to actually speak on it, but we need to be speaking on it because we got to start healing.
wow, yeah, yeah. Because when you when you listen to the words, and this is why I want people to listen to it if they can, you know. Oh yeah, that one touched me. Um, but if we go back to effing with my mind, so I'm a beat person, right? Sorry, I'm choked up for a minute. Hold on, hold on. You got me. Hold on.
I feel you because I had chills on my body when I was talking about it. There's a certain energy that is in my music, and it really, like, I really can use my divine, I call it a divine gift. Like, you can make music, anybody can make music, but there are certain people that when they make music and people listen to it, it really can help people change their lives.
Mm,
Like, it really, like, there's a certain type of energy that is in my music. It can
yeah,
really help people heal for real.
yeah, yeah. You, I gotta compose myself. You got me. You got me today. So what I was trying to
Can I
say.
be real with you?
Yeah.
When I first recorded Fear of Abandonment
Mhm.
and then I listened to it, I'm gonna be real with you. Almost all of my album, when I listened to it after I first recorded it, I literally cried because I've literally spent so much of my life scared to do this because I
Mhm.
was so scared of what other people thought.
Yeah.
And it was like I literally had to pull myself out of my comfort zone and really step into what my mission is and my life path to
Yeah.
really be able to do this. And now I finally live in my truth because for a long time, I didn't think I was actually going to do it
Mhm.
because it was like I was blocking my own shot. I was so critical of myself that it literally, I forgot the whole reason why I started doing music. And it's about how I make people feel. It's about, you know, that you have listened to an album that has gotten you through a certain part of your life that seemed impossible. And
Yeah.
that's what this is about.
Yeah.
It's more than just music. It's more than just music.
Mm. Man, wait, this is amazing. And I gotta tell you, so before I talk about what I was gonna say about I'm a beat person, I gotta rewind back because you said something about listening to how you listen to your album. And this is what I did this morning. I have a day job, so I'm busy all the time, right? So I don't get time to focus on real talk with Star Scorpio a lot. I gotta push things after work in the weekend. But I made sure that this morning, I'm an early morning person. I get up early. I listened to every track. My headphones were on and I was on the couch just listening. And that's what I was saying. You put me in a different place. It was kind of scary though. I don't know if you're gonna get what I'm saying, man, because I felt like I was in some of the lyrics you were saying and it was all emotional. And I'm like, this is amazing. And it gives you a sense of comfort when you know that someone has been through something too and they're sharing it. And I commend you because you got to me. And now what I was gonna say is I'm a beat person. So shout out to your beat maker, your producer, whoever they are. I don't know if you make the beats too, but the beats are fire. But now when I
YouTube.
yeah, okay, okay. And then when I hear the lyrics, I'm like only someone with the experience, like a real experience, can share it like this. And it's so natural, you know what I mean? So thanks for that. I don't know if you want to expand on anything.
Dude, I do. I have a lot to talk about it
Yeah,
because this has been like the most vulnerable part of myself that I have shared with people.
yeah,
And I think that a lot of people are at this transition. There's, like I said, when I'm talking about a shift
hmm,
on an energetic level,
hmm,
there's a huge shift happening. And it started happening since COVID. Like people started waking up and realizing that like there's more to life than just like working and then dying. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So what yin and yang is like the dark and light aspects within myself. I started coming into my spiritual awakening last year and realized that a lot of the way that I was raised does not resonate with my being and who I really am.
hmm,
So what yin and yang is I'm going through, I'm mourning the death of my old self. I'm literally coming back to who I was when I was younger, like my higher self. You
right,
know what I mean? So um a lot of there's two females I talk about on this album,
hmm,
and you know, one of them was my best friend of 7 years, and we dated for a year last year, and we broke up. That's who effing with my mind is
yeah,
about.
yep,
And part of, she was who the damaged me was with. We had trauma bonds, things like that. And when I started waking up, I realized that don't resonate with my being. So
hmm,
my other half of my album is talking about how I've started accepting and loving all parts of myself, even the dark part of myself that we're all taught to suppress.
hmm,
Because, you know, when you was talking about how it started making you feel kind of overwhelmed, and it's because I got really, really out of my comfort zone making this album and went deep within the depths of myself, the parts of myself that I don't usually explore.
Mhm.
And usually most of us are really scared to explore those parts of ourselves. But until we explore those parts of ourselves, there's parts of ourselves that we're not going to heal. And until we heal those parts, we're going to keep carrying past traumas into new relationships. And I cannot keep damaging myself and other people. So there came a huge self-awareness that I had to, like, because when you know better, you do better. Well, for me personally.
Yeah.
So that is really what this album is about, is my transformation as a person spiritually and
Mhm.
emotionally and physically. Because we can't be creative. We can't fully be creative if we aren't nurturing our physical and mental. And we don't talk about that shit enough either. My bad.
Yo, no, this is beautiful. I knew I was gonna tell my wife before she went to work. I I was actually nervous coming into this podcast. I've done about 46 podcast interviews, and I only got nervous when I interviewed someone big like Chris Staples. He's a professional dunker. I was nervous. And then my nerves healed and everything is cool when people come in. Some people say they're nervous when they come in, but when they talk to me, they feel this overwhelming, I don't know, aura from me of, I don't know how to say what they say about me, but comfort, right?
You
But
have a warm energy. You have a warm energy though. It's
yeah,
it's it's comforting, yeah.
that's what I was thinking. But I'm telling you right now, I was nervous and I didn't know why. And it wasn't because I didn't know you, because I'm used to that. I think I knew this was gonna come out. And I think the universe connects people in a lot of ways. And I think this was gonna happen. And
Because
you
you're going through your own shift, right?
yes,
And it
yes.
inspires you in a certain way. And there are certain things that you probably were repressing and pushing down. And
Hmm.
my music probably made you aware of it. And when you get that type of awareness, it's scary. It's scary because to get to the largest healing part of ourselves, we got to go through the scariest, darkest part of ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's just the facts. The only way out is in. It's the facts.
Wow. Crazy. You took this into another realm of conversation. This is more than the music. And I
Hey,
like that.
I'm gonna be real with you. Kendrick Lamar, he's a perfect example, bro.
Mm.
His album, the album Damn, it got me through the darkest part of my life ever, losing my mom, bro.
Oh, sorry
And
about that.
and artists really do this type of thing for people, dude. And
Mhm.
Kendrick is one of those people, just like Nas, for example. Like, he's one of the most underrated legends in the world, but
Yeah.
he literally inspired us when we were younger. Like,
Mhm.
he is really lyrical. And a
Yeah.
lot of these really real artists, a lot of them are underrated because the largest music that is pushed out there is the music that is made to put us to sleep spiritually. The
Yeah.
music that talks about sex, the music that talks about material things.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying we don't need all of those different types of music. We need them for different moods.
Hmm.
But but especially the melanated community needs to understand how it's affecting us mentally.
Yeah. So right. This is why I have a small podcast, but I have so many beautiful guests on, and you're going down in the history of real talk with Star Scorpio. And I have so many clips from this that I can share with people, and I hope it brings hope and
Gonna
light
inspire
and
people.
inspire people. And I'm from Toronto, you're from the States, West Virginia. It's internet with the connections. I would never have met you. You know what I mean? So this is a beautiful thing.
We all cross paths for a reason, for sure. And
Yeah.
there are new artists out there doing great things. Like,
Hmm.
it's not all meaningless music. Like, there's a guy out here that really inspires me. His name is Dear Silas. There's another guy named La Russell. He's literally independent and selling out shows. So you
Wow.
don't have to be exploited for your divine gifts. We don't have to do that.
Hmm. Now, okay. Now, since you're talking about that too, so how do you, when you do shows, do you use your Instagram? Were you always a social media person? Because I got into it only when I did comedy, and then I got out. But now I'm in it because real talk. But were you a social media person? Or now do you use it as a positive? Because you know there's a lot of negative with social
Yeah, I
media.
used to use a lot of social media just to flirt with women and things. And then I realized that that was just sucking away all of my energy, creative, whatever type of energy. So I think that the greatest thing is realizing how to find a balance with it because I was kind of semi honestly addicted to the internet.
Yeah.
Like, we could have more than just like substance addictions. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like we can have behavioral addictions. So what my addiction was constantly talking to women and getting validation from women. But
Mhm.
then when I started going within, I realized like I didn't need that anymore, that outer validation.
Mhm.
So like I've always been a person that used social media, but I just recently started being able to use it in a business mindset
Yeah.
because we can utilize the internet to do like this is the perfect time to be an independent artist as
Yeah.
long as we know how to utilize it. And honestly, the largest thing that we could benefit from is like what we're doing right now is
Mhm.
networking, connection, but
Yeah.
genuine connection.
Yeah.
Really, because when you got that genuine connection, your fans aren't, they're going to be loyal.
Yeah.
They're going to be like your tribe, like your spirit tribe. Like that's what I'm building. I'm building a spirit tribe.
Yeah.
Like everybody that is like, that is receiving the message I'm putting out.
Mhm.
So it's not
Preach.
just, I don't look at like people that are following me as like fans.
Yeah.
I don't look at those people as fans. Those are like my spirit family. Those are people that were meant to like get the message and, pull something from it and be able to grow and learn from it.
Wow. So yeah, that's the following on IG, and I'm sure a lot of it are personal friends too. But do you have a good circle of friends too?
Yeah, I have a pretty good circle of friends, but I try to keep it small because it's quality over quantity.
Right.
But I would say that I've built most of my fan base
Hmm.
from live streaming on the dating apps. Like, everybody looks at the dating apps like, but those, like, you really find a lot of people that is really interested in your movement and your music
Yeah.
because, everybody on those live streams are looking for something. Some
Right.
people don't actually even know what they're looking for.
Hmm.
So, like, I always end up crossing paths with like other people who do music, other people who do artistic things, like people, higher vibrational people, people that are starting to question
Hmm.
everything. And we should be questioning everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much comes from my POF live stream is where I've picked up most of my following.
Yeah. Plenty of fans you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Plenty
plenty
of
of fish.
fans.
Yeah,
Plenty of fans. I'm getting OnlyFans mixed up. Plenty of
you're
fish.
good.
I
You're
didn't even
good.
know
I don't have an OnlyFans, by the
yeah.
way.
I
I'm
didn't
trying
know
to be
that
different. I'm trying to be different. I'm not trying to like take away from the other females because I have to say that a lot of these female rappers
mhm.
who, show their bodies and stuff, I don't put them down for that. Like, I think that you should be free to express yourself however you want.
Right.
But I do want to be taken more seriously. So you'll never see me on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You're never going to see me doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I've thought about it because it's really good money, but it's just like we always have a choice.
Mhm.
We always have a choice. And when you make a choice and you're living your truth, the universe will always make a way for you to be abundant
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
I
To
don't
break
have
through.
to like show my body to people. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to do that.
Yeah, and you know what? First of all, I didn't know Plenty of Fish was still around. But when
Yeah.
OnlyFans came about, I thought it was just for, those like entertainers, but then it turned into something else. But I thought it started as one thing and then it progressed into
People
something
are
else.
literally making a living off of
Oh
these
yeah,
live streams.
for
Like
sure.
they are making a living. Like
Yeah.
they do all kinds of stuff. Some people do music, some
Hmm.
some people do poetry.
Yeah.
Like I actually have Varying Conditions Part 3 coming on my next album that's gonna be out sometime either spring or summer.
Hmm.
And it's going to have a Varying Conditions Part 3, and there's somebody that's going to be on featured on there, and she does spoken word, and she's amazing. Her
Wow.
name's Creative Soul. Yeah.
Right. She on your page?
Make sure you follow her on
Yeah.
IG, Creative
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 Soul.
Soul.
All right.
Yeah.
So now going back, so we talked about the IG and the marketing kind of thing, but live shows. First of all, did COVID, because you kind of touched on that. This is what spawned my idea for the podcast because we're all locked down and everything like that. And I had this idea because, as you know, I give to a charity after every podcast because I want to give back to causes that, you know, I was personally affected by some of them. And then now season 5, I'm asking my guests what causes do they want me to donate to. But it really got me going. I'm like, I love talking to people and I want to share stories of others. And that's I started the podcast. So now you, with COVID, did that help you like open your mind on things? And then I want to know on the other part, now that everything's opened up again, are you doing shows again in your city or an area?
Okay, so when COVID happened, I was of course doing music, but not actually putting myself out there doing music, just doing it for my own personal. So when COVID happened was a huge time for me and a lot of people. So I hopped a lot of jobs. Like when COVID first happened, I was working at a hotel.
Mhm.
I was in school for like 5 years. I was in the mental health field. I was actually going to be a therapist for children and teens. Because of everything I went through, I wanted to help other people.
Right.
But then whenever I got into it, and I started actually working at a recovery center and helping people with addiction,
Mhm.
helping people with mental health, it made me realize that I had my own trauma that I needed to work through
Wow.
and that I couldn't, I needed to step away because I could possibly re-traumatize somebody
Yeah.
being triggered by certain things,
Mhm.
things that I hadn't worked through. So then I also realized that westernized concepts of mental health isn't healing anybody, it's only treating the symptoms.
Yeah.
I don't want to subscribe to that anymore. And
Mhm.
I realized, hey, I'm literally wasting my gift by not showing it to the world. And I can literally help people heal with music. I don't have to be a therapist. I
Right.
don't have to be a slave to the system because literally all they want you to do is work and die. And literally you can go to school for years and be a therapist and help people, but still not even be paid enough to where you could even pay all your bills.
Right.
That's crazy to me. It's literally systematic slavery.
Yeah.
So it just made me realize I have to stop being scared and really step into my truth. And COVID, people may look at COVID as a negative thing, but it was actually an amazing thing for my transformation as a person. And
Yeah.
I know that it was for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
And I know, and I'm sending positive energy to people who lost people and everything, because like we definitely lost a lot of people, but it's life.
Mhm.
It's life. It's gonna happen. Like, and we can either be bitter about certain things or we can look at it in a positive way and make changes. And that's what COVID was for me. And apparently COVID was that for you too, or we
Oh,
wouldn't be here right now.
you got it. You got it. So true. And then, okay, beautiful. And now coming out of COVID, everything's opened up. Are you
I've
performing?
done a show. I done a show not too long ago. It was at a record shop,
Mhm.
but now I'm really just promoting my music. And after Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be heavy on, booking shows and stuff and putting my music out there, talking to surrounding venues because I'm in a good place for music. Like I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, which I don't think that my music is really received here as much as it would be somewhere else.
Yeah.
But, I'm right by Charlotte. I'm right by Atlanta. I'm right by Tennessee.
Mhm.
Like, those are all great places to market my music. So, definitely be looking for Wavy Spice live shows because they're coming soon.
Yeah. Atlanta's big for music too, eh, down there?
Yeah, they say it's like the new LA when it comes to like video and like movies and stuff. Like a lot of talent.
Hmm.
They're looking for a lot of talent.
Yeah. So let the people know what projects you're working on right now too. Because I wanna, and I always look for my guests and promote my guests anytime I can. But let the people know what you're working on.
Okay, so I would really love to get two singles out for Valentine's Day.
Hmm.
I would really love to do that. That's what I'm working on. I want to get it's pretty much talking about, and when I talk about love, I don't just be talking about love in just a basic way. There's usually like some kind of lesson in my song when it comes to love because, I've had a lot of like, you know, unhealthy relationships when it comes to like just how I build relationships because of how I grew up. So
Hmm.
like now I'm reparenting myself. So
Wow.
so I have to talk about that. Like, some of us didn't receive the love that we needed when we were younger. So we don't know how to properly love other people. And we're learning.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that. So I got two singles I want to drop for Valentine's Day. I also have definitely another EP coming.
Hmm.
It's going to be sometime in the next year, like the new year coming.
Hmm.
And I really, really actually have a spoken word album that I want to put out. Like, I want to put out a poetry book and a spoken word album. Like, it's going to be spoken word. And I know that this isn't coming, till probably the last half of the year next year, this new year coming.
Hmm.
But I really want to put out an album that is mantra. So I've gotten a lot into India culture,
Hmm.
and they talk about like clearing out your chakras, your energy. So I want to start doing like chants, and it's going to be like an album that is like piano music because I play piano. It's going
Yeah.
to be like instrumentals. It's pretty much going to be a healing album, an album to help people get to healing and get into meditative states.
Wow.
So it's going to be instrumental piano. It's going to be mantras. So it's going to be chants,
Hmm.
and then it's going to be positive affirmations.
Wow. Nice, nice.
Yeah,
And currently they can get Ying and Yang on Spotify, Apple, everything, all the music platforms, right?
pretty much all the music platforms. And the reason why I am so about that album I'm talking about to
Hmm.
help people heal
Heal, yeah.
is positive affirmations, chanting, meditating. I wouldn't be where I am mentally and spiritually in my elevation if it wasn't for those three things.
Hmm.
Meditating, chanting. Actually, honestly, doing the what is it? Doing the chants, like the chakra chants,
Yeah.
that actually helped me realize how music does heal us. And it's because of when I sing or I rap, the vibration from the vibration from it literally travels into, I don't know how it makes it to you guys, but it's like the vibration is
Hmm.
what creates the healing. So when I started doing chanting, it helped me sing better too, because I
Oh,
realized
wow.
that my music and my singing is like a frequency of vibration.
Hmm.
So instead of like now, I don't focus on sounding good, I focus on it feeling good.
Right. Yeah, that really comes out in your music.
You can feel it.
Yeah, I
You
could
can
feel
feel
it.
it.
Yes. And you're talking about chakras. So it's funny when you get introduced to new things. So I learned about the chakras and the locations on your body and all these.
Yeah.
These are things that we should be learning because a big thing with a lot of people is stress management and they don't know how to deal with things. And music can heal. And if like you said, Western, if somebody introduced like all of North America where there are people that are introduced to it, but in education, about healing your body through music and taking certain classes and how to just live as one, I think the world would be much different. You know what I mean?
Yes, but we never take, I just feel like people need to learn how to adopt practices that brings us into the present moment
Yeah.
so we can be more grounded.
Hmm.
Like today, before I came on here to talk to you, I do like a daily walk. And even though it's cold, I take my shoes off when I get to the park and I ground myself. And, I even took my jacket off today, even though it's like 30, 40 degrees,
Yeah.
and got some sun on my skin because we don't realize the power of the sun and what it does for us, especially melanated people.
Mm.
We are melanated, and the darker you are, the more melanin you could take in.
Right.
And we literally store melatonin in our pineal gland. Like
Mhm.
that is what enables us to sleep deeply. And the deeper sleep we get, the more we can heal our
Heal our
body.
bodies.
So
So
like
true.
it's really all about healing, really. I'm
Yeah.
I'm really like just a real huge advocate in mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. I'm gonna be a leader in that because that's my calling, that's my path.
So I gotta ask you, we're on the last part of the interview where I ask you to pick a question you want to answer. But I just want to know, because I can feel it from you. I feel energy. And like you said, you can feel vibration in what I, present. But when you're with someone or you meet someone new, can you sense that negative or positive vibe from them?
I know. Okay, so we all have senses. They're called clair senses.
Mm,
And, all of us are more prone to one or two of them. And what mine is clear cognizance, and that's clear knowing. So for me, I have always just instantly known about people and what their intentions are.
yeah.
And I can't explain it. It's just something I have always known. So
Hmm.
yeah, when I meet someone, I know off rip if there's someone that I should be around or not.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I'm not going to treat somebody with negative energy any kind of way. I'm just going to distance myself
Yeah.
from it. Because I learned that you don't always have to speak certain things. You don't always have to tell some, like, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to always do that.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, you can always sense it.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay. Wavy. Oh, your name. How did it come about?
Wavvyspice01.
Yes.
So I don't know if you've ever heard of this artist. Her name's Princess Nokia. Do you know who she is?
No.
So she's an artist that's out of New York. She's a singer and a rapper. One of my greatest influences a few years back. And, I'm still really influenced by her.
Hmm.
Um, but she had put out a song a while, like when she wasn't like before she blew up,
Right.
when she used to just be underground. And she used to go by the name Wavy Spice, and it was just Wavy Spice though. And it didn't have two V's; it was just Wavy Spice.
Right.
But she later on went to be Princess Nokia, and nobody uses that name. So I just really always resonated with her on a spiritual level
Hmm.
because she was just very different. She stood out. She wasn't like your conventional rapper or singer. I've always really really been drawn to those people that make you think differently
Hmm.
from like what society tried to condition us to. You
Right.
know what I mean? So that's where my name came from, Wavvyspice01. And I just realized that, like, my music and my energy and how I feel like now my motto is just really going with the flow of life. So like Wavy Spice is kind of like the perfect name because sometimes I'm wavy, but then sometimes I'm spicy.
Yes.
And the O one, I feel like the O one just added, it gave me a Tumblr vibe. So
Hmm.
like anytime I wanted to express myself, I would always go to Tumblr because
Hmm.
it's really like artistic when it comes to like music and art and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really like would like express myself there. That was my personal blog. So I feel like the O one gives me like a Tumblr vibe. It's like a Tumblr, almost like a Tumblr screen name.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Now we come to the point of interview. I have two questions in my hand. Let me know if you want me to read the right or the left?
Hmm. I'll take that one.
Left.
Yeah.
What is one of the most memorable moments of your life?
Honestly, my most memorable moment in my life was really this album because I have lied to myself over and over about I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. I think that fear keeps us from doing the things we want in life.
Mm,
And sometimes we will literally just sleep on how great we are because we're scared of making a change or doing something that's going to be extra hard or, maybe failing and having to learn and do it again.
mm.
So I think my most memorable moment really was when I finished this album because this album was originally supposed to come out on my birthday, which was July the 25th.
Okay.
And then I got really in my head and started criticizing myself. And then I was like, well, I can't make the music if it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
I had to go within myself again, and work on myself until I realized, hey, like, I got to do this.
yeah.
And so, like, that was my most proud moment I've ever had is like actually making a promise to myself and to the people who support me that I'm actually going to do it. And I did it. You know what I mean? So, like, that's my greatest accomplishment is that EP.
Yeah.
Like, it literally is.
Beautiful. I applaud you. And yeah, I hope people cop that album because it is so nice. And it was nice when I posted this morning because I'm like, let me just put some shine on the interview today. And then I look for it, because I put music to the stories. And then when I found the track that I like, I was like, oh man, this is amazing that I can put that to your image. Beautiful.
Yeah,
And you know what I want to know right now though? Can you can you spit some bars for me from that?
sure. You
Acapella?
want me to do it a cappella?
Oh yeah.
All right. Your eyes sparkle, your eyes that shine. We were on shrooms, couldn't help but smile. It's really crazy. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Inside and out. Wanna wrap my arms around you too. Tell me how you been. I listen for a few. I know it's hard to open up. I'm here for support though. When you are feeling blue, it's what you do. All that you do, all in. Really, really in your energy. Know you got a man and you say you ain't into me. I swear that shit's a lie. I can feel it when you look at me, staring in your eyes. When I was on shrooms, know the past was a lie. You're my twin flame, you're my real ride or die. Is it true? Or am I just projecting? We got a part of our togetherness that we're neglected. No, it's different, new and scary. Ain't it worth reflecting? Because for us to let this go is really disrespecting what we have always had, and now we intersecting. Uh, now we intersecting. Once your soft lips pressed to mine, and effectively, no more questions. You wouldn't know it all directly. What you think it was, you was manifesting. Wavy appeared when your gods they were listening. I am made for you, so I am. I would move to be near you. That's the love I have within. I'm your soul sister, but I want to hold your hand. Want to be your woman and your man. Actually, I need to wake on up. I want to know you deeper. You're a version of my love. If I show you the real thing, will you stay or will you run? Will you stay or will you run? I think I know the answer to that. I just have to leave it alone. It's cold how you're turning your back, knocking on your door when nobody's home. Source got us intersecting, babe. This ain't just a sex thing, babe. You on my mind, we texting. I need to let you go, I'm really reckless. I got me feeling neglected. Do it to myself, steady wrecking. Heart, I'm steady wrecking, no. I need to be way more protected, though. Oh, thank you.
Blessings. Amazing. Thank you for
Appreciate it.
sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Oh man. Oh, okay. So now this is the point in the interview as well where I need to know what charity you want me to donate to. So we already talked about this offline, but let the people know where Star Scorpio will be donating to for episode 2.
I believe it's Active Minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Active Minds. So what Active Minds, what their mission is, you guys, is that they want to educate young people, um, mainly on mental health, but also in other areas of growth. I didn't have support and, education about certain things when I was younger. We didn't talk about mental health when I was younger. Especially in the melanated community, a lot of melanated people will be like, you just need God.
Yeah.
We need to work on our mental health. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to heal those traumas. We need to have support. Support is important. Like someone that is gonna, like, people that will validate how you feel, and that, whenever you tell somebody how you feel, like, that they're willing to work on it. We need those safe spaces. We need to be doing that for ourselves.
Sweet. Beautiful. So that's where Star Scorpio would be donating to. I really appreciate you coming out today. This was enlightening. This was amazing. Let the people know where they can find you.
Okay. So you can find me on all the platforms, but the main platforms are definitely going to be SoundCloud, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation and iTunes are going to be the places where you can purchase the album. And of course, start tuning in to the YouTube, because I'm going to start doing piano covers. Yeah, just I'm gonna be doing all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna be doing piano covers. I'm also want to do eventually an album, a remake of this album, piano,
Yeah.
fully piano and singing.
Sweet.
But Wavvyspice01 with 2 V's. There's a DistroKid hyperlink that is in my IG. If you click that, it will take you to like a Wavy Spice page that gives you a description of my album, and it'll give you links to whichever music platform you use, and you could go straight to it.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
And it also that page, that hyperlink, will also have a link to my IG, my Facebook, and my Snapchat if you want to see Wavy on Snap.
You got it. Everyone, this is Wavvyspice01, season 5, episode 2 of Real Talk, and we out.
Appreciate it.